What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope everyone is doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope you guys enjoyed Monday night football. Hope you guys had a great week 9. We are moving in full steam ahead to week 10 of the 2022 season of the 2022 fantasy football season. So we're going to hop into some live fantasy Q&A for the night. Have a nice little stream here post Monday Night Football. So you guys know what to do, man. Hit that like button on the way in. Hit that subscribe button, of course, if you are new to the channel. And hop in the live chat, man. Let me know what's popping. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know how week 9 went for you guys. Let me know what you guys are expecting for week 10. Starts, sits, ads, drops. We've got the waiver wire coming up. Not a lot of options out there on the waiver wire, so a lot to get into, man. So like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's have some fun. Let's talk some fantasy football. Not the most exciting Monday night game, so to speak, but we at least we got some fantasy potential out of this game. May have won you a game or a matchup, may have not won you a matchup. So let me know, guys, how did week 9 go for you guys? What are you guys expecting in week 10? Let's get this thing going. All right, J-Dub's in the house. Let's go, let's go. My first win. Time to drink. Let's go. Finally got the dub in the Catch Fam League. Let's go, let's go. I love to see it, man. 9-0 in your IDP League. Let's go, man. Love to see it. Love to see it. How you doing, J-Dubs? Great to have you in the house, my guy. Appreciate you being here tonight, man. Sport Dog, what up? How'd it go week 9? 2 words, Joe Mixon. What a week for Mixon. 5 touchdowns on the day. He's moved up to like your RB2 on the season from 1. Yeah, I mean, he's literally RB2 in PPR after scoring 55.1 points in week 9, 153 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 58 receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown for Mixon. An absolutely wild day, man. Just stupid. Let's go, Sport Dog. After the review in the house, what's up, man? What it do, what it do, what it do? Justin Fields looking great out there. I mean, Fields and Mixon, probably your 2 most impressive performances on the week. I mean, they just killing it, man. Justin Fields, the most rushing yards in a single regular season game by a quarterback. I know you know all about that. Obviously, you had that as one of your sports facts, but just a crazy week for Fields, man. Am I the only one that's liking Garrett Wilson? Took a W. Yeah, Wilson is looking great, man. Wilson definitely moves up. You know, I want to check. I didn't have him on the waiver wire video. He's rostered in 79% of fantasy leagues. So, but he has been dropped in a lot of leagues. So, go look and see if Garrett Wilson is available. He's worth a pickup for sure. Smokey in the house. What's up, baby? Please tell me if I'm crazy, but I'm done with Herbert. I feel his ceiling is capped with Eckler. All his touchdowns are Eckler runs. I'm trading him off in one of my leagues. It's not crazy to trade him. His potential, his ceiling is definitely hurt without Mike Williams, right? Without Keenan Allen. So if those two can get back and can get healthy, maybe it's a little bit of a different story. But overall, like, if you need to move on, you need to win now. I don't blame you necessarily. I own him in my double quarterback league, and he's definitely hurting me in that league. Sport Dog 7-2. Let's go, baby. V in the house. What up? J-Dub says Fields to the moon. Swabby JP 10-man PPR 7-2. Should I trade Justin Fields, Swift, and Higgins for JJ? Ooh. Other running backs are Chubb, Walker, and ETN. Okay. Receivers are Monroe and AJ Brown. I have Lamar Jackson as well. JJ owner is Herbert. You can consider it, but you should be able to get one more player out of this. Like, you're trading a top 10 quarterback, you're trading a running back with huge upside, and you're trading the number 1 receiver at the moment on the Bengals. So, yeah, JJ's your wide receiver 4 in fantasy, but I would press for one more player. He's probably going to have to drop a player, right? In a 10-man, I doubt he has 2 extra players he wants to drop. I mean, it's possible, but I would press for an extra player. But I don't know, having Jackson and Fields could be pretty lethal and gives you a huge advantage, right? Looking at other teams out there in your league. So, but I consider it, man. I mean, JJ's a great factor would definitely help your receiving room. I mean, stacking JJ, AJ Brown, Chubb, Walker, ETN, and Lamar Jackson on a weekly basis would be super solid. And you're 7-2, so I'm not completely against it, man. Little Bunny Hop 7-2 in the Catch Fam League. Let's go. What's up, Bunny Hop? Great to have you. J-Dub says go for the JJ trade. I'm not against it, but I would press for another player. V, all right, so call me crazy. I'm dropping Cousins for Fields, dropping Everett for Fearmouth. Not crazy at all. Both are good moves. Kirk Cousins has plenty of good starts left in the tank. Don't get me wrong. But Fields going to present a lot of upside. But just be aware, moving into a little bit of the later portion of the season, you're going to get a Week 14 bye for Justin Fields, Week 15 at Philadelphia, Week 16 at Buffalo, then even Week 12 at the Jets and Week 13 at Green Bay. A little bit steep, but he did have 26 fantasy points against Dallas. And he gets Detroit and Atlanta in the next 2 weeks. Like, he could single-handedly win you the next 2 weeks. So I don't think you're crazy at all, but be a little bit wary. Like, Cousins is someone who could provide, based on matchup, some nice floors and ceilings for you as well. Jake needed Likely in the Ravens defense to combine for 30. Thought after the first Likely touchdown I may have it. Yikes, I'm sure you came close. What did the Ravens finish at defensively? About 10 points. Then Likely probably had, about, I'll just check. Between 8 and 10. I didn't really keep up. I watched the whole game, and 9.4. Okay, yeah. So, I was right. He was not involved in the second half at all, man. V, also, what's up with Walker's projection for next week on Yahoo? 6 points. Maybe they're just not expecting him to play. Likely had a lot of drops. Yeah, frustrating night. Likely is not Andrews, clearly. It's definitely true. But the other aspect that I think a lot of people ignored moving into the week is that the Saints are one of the better teams in the league against opposing tight ends. And so, there were some options that I saw out there that I told you guys to go with over Likely because of the matchup. But unfortunately, there was Evan Ingram, who was a bust this week, and Robert Tonyan, who was essentially a bust this week as well. So hopefully he went with Likely. But yeah, I think a lot of people ignored that it was a pretty tough matchup. But he's definitely not Mark Andrews. What are we thinking about DK rest of the season? Hey, DK is going to continue to be a factor and a great wide receiver 2 for your fantasy squad. I got no problem with DK. Likely had his chances. Andrews is back to assume full duties, yeah. But I do think with all the injuries to this team and the uncertainty around the pass catchers on this team, they should absolutely get Likely more involved, even when Andrews is healthy. You know what I'm saying? Lockett or Judy, half PPR. I go Lockett. Can I drop Brandon Cooks for a streaming quarterback? Yes, you can, Caleb. Let's go, Caleb. V had this guy warming up my bench. DK will be 12 to 15 point scorer rest of the season. Yeah, very safe floor, good ceiling, good enough ceiling, safe ceiling, I guess. Is George Pickens droppable in 10 teams, full PPR? It depends on what you're dropping for and everything, but more than likely. He has the most value in full PPR. The Steelers are going to continue to be in game scripts where they need to throw the football, but if you need to move on, I don't think it's going to hurt you. Tua, Goff, or Dak week 10 with Joe Burr out? Tua for sure. Not even close. Go grab Tua. Caleb 1-2 of 4 leagues. Pretty good, man. That's I went 2-2 this week as well. Suave and panicking on Swift. Williams looks great and he's fully healthy. Swift stays on the pitch count. Yeah. I don't hate that trade, man. Not at all. Not at all. But maybe try to get one more player is all I'm saying. What do you think about Olave rest of the season? Continues to be consistent, man. Continues to be the top target for the Saints. 9 targets tonight, 6 receptions, 71 receiving yards. He's got 10 or more fantasy points in every game this year that he's played in, except for week 1, where he still had 9.1 fantasy points. Didn't play in week 6. So, Olave is a player that I continue to like from a fantasy perspective for sure. Jeff Wilson rest of the season. Is he a good start with Ramondre out? Yes. We need a little bit of a larger sample size to evaluate Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert in the same backfield, but in week 9, Wilson got the nod overall. At least he had more. Raheem Mostert still scored a touchdown. Wilson got all the receiving work, and he benefited from a fantasy perspective from that as well with the receiving touchdown. What do you think of Evans and Godwin rest of the season? Are they still must-starts in 10 teams full PPR? I would say so, but they're not giving you a good ceiling. I mean, Evans has shown some good ceilings on the year. Godwin's not giving you a ceiling at all, but his floor is completely safe. And the thing with the Buccaneers receivers is that the Buccaneers are going to continue to be in game scripts where they have to throw the football a lot. Like, Godwin and Evans have a ridiculous amount of targets over the last couple of weeks. I mean, it's literally stupid. I mean, Mike Evans in the last 3 weeks has at least 11 targets with a ceiling of 15 targets. Chris Godwin, on the other hand, has at least 10 targets in every game since week 6. He has at least 10 targets in every game except for week 5 since week 4. So, and then, I mean, Evans, 8 or more targets in every game except for week 6 against Pittsburgh, where he had 4 targets. So, like, they are getting the volume, and they are providing you with a really safe floor in full PPR. Like, half PPR or standard, I could understand if you're frustrated with them, but, full PPR, it depends on the matchup, but essentially still a must start, just not a good ceiling. Sport Dog, I'll be looking for a good quarterback due to Josh Allen's elbow injury. Looking at Fields or Geno, anyone else you might think of? No, those are 2 good options, and go after Fields as heavily as you can. But Smith, if you don't land Fields, is okay. Bigfoot, what's up, man? I need a good flex option going forward. Who's better long-term? Palmer, Dawson, Wilson, Hardman are still available via waiver wire. Pick 2. I will go after Hardman very heavily. I continue to have a lot of faith in Hardman. He's got another good matchup coming this week against the Jaguars. Hardman's a smash play, but I would go after Garrett Wilson as well. I'd rank these Hardman, Wilson, Palmer, and then Dotson. It would be interesting to see, what we can get out of Dotson on the rest of the season, but at the moment he is still inactive. Palmer holds some nice value, but his value for the rest of the season is dependent on Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. So I like Hardman and Garrett Wilson a little bit more, and I really like Hardman at the moment. But Garrett Wilson, if he's available, absolutely worth the pickup as well. Let's see here. Is Foreman a must start next week? Must start, might be pushing it for 2 reasons, right? Chuba Hubbard's probably going to come back. And then we saw Blackshear, is that his last name? Got a touchdown, got a little bit of involvement in week 9 as well. So those are your 2 reasons. But yes, due to matchup, I mean, he had his best game of the season against this Falcons team. So it's a good matchup, but it is a short week, Thursday Night Football and all that. So between the short week and I guess the rest of that backfield maybe coming forward as well, I don't know if I call him a must start. And I guess the disappointing week kind of puts a damper, but he'll have a better week, I think, in week 10 than he had in week 9. Ricky, what's up, man? Sanders, Jones, Jacobs, Eckler, pick 3, half PPR, Herbert or Fields. I go Fields. Give me the upside. In terms of your running backs, Jones may or may not play, so you may have an easy answer here. Maybe Sanders, Jacobs, and Eckler, but I did read today that there's definitely a possibility that Jones is good to go this week. So it's kind of tough to say at this point, but I probably have Sanders, Jacobs, and Eckler in your starting lineup because they all have good matchups. And then Jones a little bit risky with the lingering injury, even if he does play. He gets the Dallas Cowboys regardless, so he is the toughest matchup. I'd probably just roll with Sanders, Jones, and Eckler. Sanders should benefit from a game script where the Eagles get a early lead against the Washington Commanders on Monday Night Football. And then Jacobs and Eckler. Eckler has Eckler has the toughest matchup out of the 4 against the San Francisco 49ers, but you just can't. You can't set Eckler. You know what I'm saying? So I'd probably roll with Jacobs, Eckler, and Sanders at the moment. Jake, does anyone know if on the ESPN app, if you can change the amount of teams to make the playoffs? You should be able to. Majority of fans, I don't see why they wouldn't let you do that. Any app I've ever used has allowed you to do so. Should I trade CMC, Boyd, and B-Rob for Kupp, Swift, and Singletary? CMC, Boyd, B-Rob, Kupp. It depends. I mean, you're basically swapping a top 2 running back for a top 2 receiver. And I don't really feel like Boyd versus Swift and B-Rob versus Singletary matters. Like, are you trying to upgrade at receiver? Are you very strong at running back? It depends on the rest of your roster. Saints' entire defense got hurt and their starting center, yeah. Should I drop Hurst? I have Goddard. Yes, start Goddard for the rest of the year. Foreman is a rough start with Hubbard coming back. Might be in the back burner. I agree. Should I drop Romeo Dobbs in 10 teams? He is hurt. So if you need to move on, that's fine at the moment. Who should I start at QB in week 10? Fields or Hurts? Don't get it twisted, man. Keep both of them. You're giving yourself a huge advantage by not having another team have either of these quarterbacks, right? But I would start Hurts. Like I will not bench Jalen Hurts at this point in time, and he gets the Washington Commanders. So like I continue to start him. The last time he played Washington, he had 27.6 fantasy points. That's tied for his third best performance on the season. Don't get me wrong, Justin Fields plays Detroit. It could get. Don't get me wrong, man. It's a gorgeous matchup, but I don't want to sit Justin Fields. I don't want to sit Jalen Hurts. I think either way, you're going to have a very solid start. So like I wouldn't sweat it too much, but I'll go Fields. Should I drop Sutton 10 teams full PPR and wait on the boom game? If you're in a losing position, like if you need to win now, then probably. If not, well, he's not very exciting at this point in time. So I picked up Palmer originally, then dropped for Everett to cover tight end position, but did on Sunday, so he was unusable. Oh, yikes. My league was a bit salty. Well, hey, kind of a win-win situation, I guess. Is offering Judy, Palmer, and Foreman for Waddle a decent offer? The guy has Thielen and Sutton as the starting receivers, and Dillon for running back, so it'd be an upgrade for him. Or is that a low ball? I mean, it looks like he needs receiver depth. It looks like he's missing a running back. So, I mean, does it really matter if you're lowballing him and he accepts it? No. Always start low and move up. You know what I'm saying? So, depends. I mean, Waddle is like a top 5 receiver at the moment. So, I would try it. Why not? What do you think Joe Mixon rest of the season rank is? I mean, he literally has moved up to running back number 2, but he's not going to stay at running back number 2. He'll finish as a top 10 running back, probably a top 8 running back, you know. And I'm really happy to see that because all off season long, you guys know I was like, Joe Mixon, Joe Mixon, Joe Mixon. This is my guy. And before this past week, he was looking, pretty mediocre. I won't say mediocre, but just not like he had great ceilings. But he's definitely going to finish within the top 10. So he's not going to stay as RB2. But who knows? He might be able to finish as an RB5 if he gets enough volume moving forward. And it just blows my mind because like in week 8, you had the Cleveland Browns on Monday Night Football, one of the worst teams against running backs in all the league. And you don't use Joe Mixon, you know. And then in week 9, you just go unfair amount of Joe Mixon. Anyways, I have the hiccups apparently, guys. Not good to have the hiccups while you're streaming. Caleb, I have Pitts and Njoku in the IR. Should I pick up another tight end? Conklin, Tanyan, Otten. Maybe Kate Otten. But Conklin, Tanyan, and Otten are not going to bring you any consistency. Thoughts on Amon-Ra? Dude looks like he disappeared. I know he had 9 targets, but still continues to be a solid flex option on a week-in, week-out basis for me. Oh my god, guys, I had the hiccups. Has there ever been a streamer who gets the hiccups while he's streaming? Oh my gosh. I'm not giving up on Amon-Ra. Oh my gosh, it was going to be a short stream anyways, but it's going to be a shorter stream. He gets Chicago in week 10. It's a great matchup. Trade Herbert, Godwin, and Palmer for Tyreek and Kenneth Walker. Yes. Yes. Please do that, Smokey. 8-man league. Thoughts on Waddle and Mixon for Cup? I have Devontae, Walker, Saquon, and Pierce. Hollywood and Keenan are injured on bench. No, keep Waddle and Mixon. I mean, like, you have good depth, but no, I mean, Waddle is a top 5, top 6 receiver. He might not. I mean, it's an 8-man league. It's really close, but I would probably hold. Even an 8-man league, I would probably hold the Dev. Oh my god, that was a bad one. I can't wait to get to the bottom of the chat and see you guys cooking me. Is Kadarius Toney worth a stash? Not in my opinion personally, but he got a little bit of involvement. Is Josh Allen's injury severe? We won't know until like another day or so. Smoking, my opponent had Mahomes, Mixon, and Adams. Jeez. Should I start Foreman or Swift? Probably Foreman. Hey, J-Dubs, those Kansas City receivers are looking consistent. Juju and Hardman. Is Aaron Jones' injury serious? I've heard it's not. What do you think of Carter rest of the season, full PPR teams? Is he worth a flex this week? He played very well against the Bills, so you should consider him in the flex. But he's on bye week this week. Yeah, he doesn't. The Jets are on bye week in week 10. They face the Patriots in week 11, another tough matchup. So, yeah, you can flex him the rest of the season, but that's about it. Amon-Ra, Higgins, A.J. Brown ranked rest of the season. I still go Brown, Higgins, Amon-Ra. Oh my god, how do you stop the hiccups? You have to like hold your breath. This is a nightmare scenario. Yeah, J-Dubs, it'll definitely cripple the Bills, especially with the Jets humming. Should I hold on to Randall Robinson? I'm not quite so sure, to be honest with you, man. I got a carbonated drink. Does that help the hiccups? And what is it? Someone does scare me? Does that help the hiccups? Right? Albert, hello. Do you think Keenan Allen will play this week? He's got a good shot, but who in the world knows? I thought he'd be back, you know? I mean, I thought he'd be back this past week. Would you rather start Raheem Mostert or Jeff Wilson? Probably Jeff Wilson, but your guess is as good as mine. The guy that has Pierce is wanting to trade him. I don't need him since I have Eckler and Chubb, but he would be a solid flex play every week. Thoughts on him rest of the season? Yeah, I mean, if you can go out and get him at the right price, Juke, 100%. Yeah, that'd be great, regardless if you have or don't have. I mean, Eckler, Chubb, Pierce would be beautiful. CMC for Cup. My RBs are CMC, Stevenson, Pacquiao, B-Rob. No. My wide receivers are Hill, Boyd, Moore, Myers, and Lockett. No, keep CMC, man. You don't have the running back depth at all to make this move. You can't be starting Pacquiao and B-Rob. Oh my god, I'm so sorry about the hiccups, guys. I mean, you got Stevenson on bye week this week. Like, you're going to probably lose if you do this trade, or at least this coming week. But overall in this season, you can start CMC and Stevenson, right? Start Hill, Myers, and Lockett. Like, if you lose CMC, obviously you get Cup. I'm sorry, but I think it hurts your running back position too much, and you already have decent, or good enough receivers, you know. Trade Jacoby Myers and Higbee for Amon-Ra. I would not personally. Myers is honestly playing just as well as Amon-Ra at the end of the day. How did Myers finish in Week 9? Myers had his worst performance of the year in Week 9, but outside of Week 9, in every game he's played this year, he's had 10 or more fantasy points. I mean, if you have the depth overall and you don't need Higbee, that's fine, but I'd probably keep Myers and Higbee. Drop Monty for White. I have Herbert. I'd probably just keep the Bears backfield. John, I think I'll be putting A.J. Dillon in one of my flex spots. Do you think I can drop Deion Jackson? Yes, but Jackson should have a better week this week if he's a starter. I mean, I told you guys all week, the Patriots are the second best team in the league against opposing running backs. But JT might be good to go this week, so we'll see. Yeah, you can drop him. But just keep in mind, Aaron Jones might be good to go as well this week. Chug water, drink water upside down. It's really painful, I'm not going to lie. Oh my gosh. Hoping Njoku will be ready week 10. John, are you a closet booze hound? We all get the hiccups. I hope Njoku is ready for you as well. Odo Beckham worth a stash. A stash at most, for sure. Oh, good. I'm caught up to the chat. Oh my gosh, guys. This is stressing me out. 10-man half PPR. I'm 8-1. So should I stash Dobbins for potential playoff upside or go for Gus? I mean, I'll be honest with you, Jacob. I really am not a fan of the Ravens backfield. Like, you can stash whoever you want, but on a week-to-week basis, it's just way too hard to know who is going to be the starter. And Kenyon Drake has looked great, and I don't even trust Kenyon Drake. So I don't really know who gives you more upside. I guess Dobbins, but I mean, there are probably other players in a 10-man I'd rather stash right now, but they're both worth stashing, I guess. Just lost week 9 matchup in fantasy this week. I'm currently now ranked 4th in the league. 4th is still playoff, man. So you're good, Ander. What's good, Ander? Tough to lose, of course. Hate to see that, but 4th is still makes the playoffs. That's all that matters. Ricky, I have Pollard, Palmer, Judy, Lockett that I'm willing to trade away to get a better wide receiver too. Who should I package for Waddle, or do you think that's not enough? Ricky, I liked your trade from earlier. I mean, you're going to have to trade a lot to get Waddle. So, if you're going to go in, just go in. But try to keep Lockett. Try to keep Lockett. He's your wide receiver 9 in fantasy. It depends on the roster for the owner who has Waddle. Should I start Foreman, Samuel, or Pickens? I would start Foreman. Curtis Samuel's close. If you don't have faith in Foreman on a short week, go Samuel. Finn, should I trade AK and Olave for CMC? My wide receivers are Evans and Waddle. RBs are Walker and Eckler. Evans and Waddle have the same bye week, week 11. It's very close. Very, very close. Kamara had his worst week of the year since week 3 when he was banged up anyways. You're going to be playing the waiver wire in week 11, but I don't hate the trade. I mean, CMC, Walker, and Eckler on a weekly basis, yeah, I would do it. I mean, screw week 11, man. Are you in a win-now situation, or are you in a good position? If you're in a good position, I say just do it and whatever, play the waivers on week 11. I mean, CMC, Walker, and Eckler is a winning lineup. You know? Going to 5-4. I'd heavily consider it, man. Yeah, and I mean, any of these players could get injured just like CMC can get injured, so I'd definitely consider it, man, if you feel good about it. 10-man hat PPR. Who do you like rest of the season? Fearmouth, Greggy D, Otner, Komet. I go Fearmouth for sure. I'm not giving up on my guy Pat F. Dolchich is a good option. Ott and Komet are good options, but I go Fearmouth. Traded Harmon and Robinson for Garrett Wilson, full PPR in Dynasty. Do you still think it's a good trade? Yeah, absolutely. And Dynasty, absolutely. Is Komet worth a stash? I'm out on Pitts now. Yes, 100%. 100%. But prepare for disappointment. All right, guys, I'm going to end the stream early because I'm telling you, this is killing me. But realistically, Monday night streams are usually pretty short for us. So I just wanted to hop on, talk a little bit about week 9, talk a little bit about what you guys have for week 10, and move right along, man. So, if Elijah Mitchell comes back, would he be a flex spot? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Is Watson worth the stats for fantasy playoffs? Of course, man. Of course. Thanks, Caleb. Yeah, that was like a nightmare for a live stream. But I got to edit. Starts and sits at running backs and receivers for the weeks anyway. So I usually just hop on, or when I have been hopping on Mondays, just a short recap and talk to you guys for a couple minutes. So, guys, hit that like button on the way out. Hit that subscribe button, of course, if you're new to the channel. Must start defenses for week 10 are out. Must add waiver wire plays for week 10 are out. Starts and sits for running backs and receivers will drop tomorrow. And must start kickers should also drop tomorrow. So, check out the videos for the week. Let me know if you guys need anything. Let me know if you guys need anything on Discord in the YouTube comments section. Wherever, right? So, JP lost by 0.14. Need some changes. Should I drop Waller for Dolchich? Yes. Or try and trade Waller, Boyd, Gibson for Ramondre, Godwin, and Johnson. Oh, you got Kelsey. I mean, if you can do the trade, do it because you get Godwin and Ramondre. If you can do the trade, that's fine. If not, Dolchich is better than Waller, especially if you have Kelsey. Sport Dog J-Dubs, you guys have a great night. Sorry, JP, Stephen Joe, catching you last minute here. And also, I had really bad hiccups. Stephen Joe, trying to make a big trade. I get Najee, Juju, and Lockett for DK, Pollard, and McLaurin. It's close. It's close. I think both sides are pretty good. Both sides are pretty good. That's a close one, man. JP, link to the Discord is in the description down below. Link to Instagram's in the description down below as well. So, all right, guys. Love you guys. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. Sorry for the short stream. I'll be on tomorrow night. Like I said, must-start defenses are out. Waiver wire ads are out. Starts and sits for receivers and running backs dropping tomorrow. And must-start kickers dropping tomorrow as well. All right, guys. Love you guys. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hit that like button on the way out. Hit that subscribe button. Of course, if you're new to the channel. Thank you guys for these short Monday night streams. Thank you guys for all the fantasy questions. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Sorry I had a weird, crazy case of the hiccups. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Everyone have a great start to the week. With that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on The Catch.